What up, world? It's Warrior Team back at it again. Welcome to the episode. Today we're talking about a time when toys and video games ruled everything. The two weren't just connected, they fed off each other. In the 80s and 90s, toy companies realized something big. If kids love the action figures, they love the game. And if they love the game, they'd buy the toys. This is a story of the toys that became games and vice versa. This is all true. In the 80s, these toy lines wanted to sell all their fucking toys. So if you like the toy, they usually made it into a cartoon, and then when video games became big, they made them into video games. It was all a cycle. It went both ways. A cartoon came out that people liked, they made a toy out of it. They made a video game out of it. And I'm going to talk about that. Hope you like the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Welcome to When Toys Controlled the Screen. Back in the 80s, toy aisles were basically TV schedules. Cartoons existed to sell toys. Shows like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, and Transformers were built around action figures. And when gaming blew up, those toys jumped straight into the digital world. He-Man got his own Atari and the television games. G.I. Joe had side-scrolling shooters on NES. And Transformers, they were made for it. Robots turned into vehicles, battling for the fate of Cybertron. It was the perfect blend of toy shelf and joystick. This was their whole marketing thing back in the 80s. They make the cartoons and sell the toys. Then when the video games came to be big, that just blew up everything. They made a video game out of pretty much everything. And like I said, He-Man, G.I. Joe, and Transformers were like the original, what is the word called? The original thing that started it all. They really wanted to sell their shit, and kids love that shit. Especially me, growing up in the 80s, I see the commercial and I want that shit. I see a fucking commercial for a video game, I want it. I see a new cartoon about G.I. Joe or Transformers, I'm definitely watching it, and that's what they wanted, and it worked. The Transformers effect. No franchise proved the crossover formula better than the Transformers. It started as a toy line imported from Japan, became a cartoon juggernaut, and then jumped into video games across generations. From 8-bit classics to modern hits like War for Cybertron, Transformers evolved from gaming tech. Each version gave fans the same feeling, taking your toy from the floor to full 3D combat. It was more than brand synergy, it was childhood fulfillment. When the Transformers video games came out, those shits were amazing. Using one of those fucking Transformers and being able to turn directly into a car and back into a robot was, I don't even know how to describe it. It was fucking fantastic. I remember I had one of those Transformer games for the Xbox 360. I played the shit out of the game. It was so good, and the graphics were good. The gameplay was not bad at all. It was just a good game. I didn't play any of the games. I don't even remember Transformers games for the NES, to tell you the truth. But I didn't play none of them for NES, but the first one that I played was for the Xbox 360, and it was amazing. And to see them fully integrate that to the video game was game changing. It was a good thing. When video games inspired toys, then the formula flipped. Video games started getting their own toy lines. Nintendo, Sega, and Capcom realized players didn't just want to play, they wanted to own their favorite characters. You had the Mario Brothers action figures from Toy Biz, Sonic the Hedgehog plushies and figures everywhere, Mega Man figures that looked straight out of the cartoon. And then when Pokemon hit, it wasn't just a game, it became a toy empire. Trading card, plushes, Pokeballs, that franchise printed childhood memories. So I wasn't a kid when when Pokemon came back. But that shit is huge. It's still huge today, actually. But I never had any of the Mario figurines or the Sonic figurines. I really wasn't into the figurine type of shit and the toys for that. But Pokemon, I had all those fucking games. That shit was so fun as an adult playing Pokemon. So they really know how to push that shit to people of any age group. They were mainly going after the kids, but adults bought that shit too. He-Man and the ultimate marketing hack. He-Man changed everything. The cartoon was created to make the toys sell, not the other way around. Every episode ended with a life lesson.
Today's story, Elena tried taking a magic potion which she thought would help her. Well, she found out there aren't any magic potions. And you know what? There aren't any magic drugs either. Anytime you take one from anybody but your parents or your doctor, you're taking a very big chance. You're gambling with your health, maybe even your life. Drugs don't make your problems go away. They just create more.
But the real goal was to keep you buying figures. And it worked so well that by the mid-'80s, almost every toy brand followed that playbook. Even Ninja Turtles started a comic book, became toys, then became a cartoon. And then got video games. It was the blueprint for multimedia success. What I don't understand is He-Man was huge when I was growing up. It was big. They had the movie and everything, the cartoon. They even had a spin-off, She-Ra and the Masters of the Universe, and they had all the toys. I don't remember any games for the NES. I don't even remember any games for the Sega or Super Nintendo. I don't think there was a Masters of the Universe game, and they really dropped the ball on that because people would have bought that shit. I know I would have bought that. I love Masters of the Universe. And then to have the ability to start off as Adam and then to change into He-Man and then to have Battle Cat. Oh, that would have been so good. I'm surprised they haven't made a game today out of the Masters of the Universe. They're just missing a excellent opportunity to sell a good game. I think that would be an excellent game. The story would work today, and there would be so many different characters. They can actually restart He-Man, in my opinion, if they wanted to. But that was definitely their goal, marketing toys in a cartoon, and the cartoon sold the toys. But I still don't get why they never made a Master of the Universe video game for Nintendo or Sega or anything, or even Xbox or PlayStation today. Toys that made great games. Let's be real, not all toy-based games were cash grabs. Some were actually classics. DuckTales on NES, still one of the greatest platformers ever made. Transformers War for Cybertron, legit amazing. Lego Star Wars, that series brought humor and creativity back into gaming. The best ones understood something simple. You don't just copy the toy, you expand the imagination behind it. Those were great ideas, especially the Lego series. The Lego series is so huge. They made Lego series out of everything from from Incredibles to fucking, like I said, Star Wars, Batman, all the Marvel Lego movies, the fucking Indiana Jones. They just fucking Legoed it out. Those video games are actually good too, and they're funny, and people buy them. I know I've played a lot of them. DuckTales was one of the innovators of this, from the cartoon and then the DuckTales game, which was awesome, which I didn't play. I got a whole video on that if you want to watch it. I never played Transformers War on Cybertron, but I played several of those Transformers games. So they really do know how to market. They really do know how to get people to buy those games and watch their shows. I wish I was in that business, actually, to tell you the truth. Games that created their own merch empires. Some video games didn't start as toys, but became them because of fan obsession. Think about it. Sonic the Hedgehog, Street Fighter, The Legend of Zelda, Halo, Fortnite. Each of these games became so massive that the merchandise was inevitable. Kids wanted their heroes on the shelf as much as on the screen. By the 2000s, toy aisles were full of characters that have never existed in cartoons. They came straight from video games. This is 100% true. I have several Zelda shirts, Street Fighter shirts. I like those graphic t-shirts, so I buy a lot of those character shirts and video game shirts that I like. My kids love Sonic the Hedgehog, so they got the Sonic clothes and shit like that. So many different toys that came out from these things. The Fortnite shit was a fucking huge craze, and people still play that shit to the day. And they got all the toys and fucking clothes that you can buy for Fortnite. So they really, video games really etched another area in terms of marketing, and it's all because of the characters. If you have a great character, most people want to see those characters on TV, on their self or whatever, in terms of clothing, or they want to have the toys in their house to show off in figurines and shit like that. So it was genius, in my opinion, to combine those two, I guess you could say, genres. The circle is complete. By the time the 2000s rolled around, the loop was complete. Toys became games, games became toys, and both became billion-dollar storytelling engines. Lego made Lego Star Wars, a video game based on toys, based on a movie. Then Skylanders flipped the script again, a video game that used toys to unlock characters. That was a full circle moment when digital and physical play finally fused. It's genius. All these companies always want to look for the next big thing, the next way to make more money, and combining Lego with Star Wars was pure genius. Who would have thought that a toy company like Lego would have video games, and so many video games? And it's crazy how these companies would let them use those likenesses in these video games too. Like all these different characters, all these different companies let Lego use their characters, which is wild. That just doesn't happen because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and why wouldn't you if you can make that much money? Today, the toy to game pipeline is everywhere. From Amiibo figures to Minecraft sets, the line between toy and game barely exists anymore. But back in the day, it was pure creativity driving it. Toy makers, game designers, and kids all spoke the same language: imagination. That's why those crossovers still hit today. They weren't just products, they were bridges between kinds of play. So yeah, toys and video games grew up together. They built worlds, made memories, and turned childhood into something epic. You didn't just collect, you connected. And that's what made the era so special. That's gonna do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Truly appreciate it. You could have been on anybody else's channel, and you decided to watch mine, so thank you. There's only 24 hours in a day, and you gave me a couple minutes. Hope I didn't waste your time. Time is very valuable. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. I'll get to you guys on the next one. Have a good one. You've been watching